Today on Plugin Friday, we're going to look at the Sonsig REV Reverb from RELAB. Hey, what's up everyone? Chris here from MIXDOWN Online. And today, for this edition of Plugin Friday, we're going to look into the Sonsig REV Reverb. Thanks to RELAB that made this wonderful new reverb, they are going to give away a full bundle, a full reverb bundle, which includes the REV Reverb, the LX480, and also the VRS S24. So this is an amazing reverb bundle for you to get a chance to win. So if you want to jump into the raffle, I'm going to leave all of the details down below. So, and you have until September 27th, 2019 to get into this raffle and get a chance to win this very cool reverb bundle from RELAB. Now let's go and take a look at this very cool reverb. Now it is a very simple reverb to use. As you can see, the GUI is actually one of the good features out of this reverb. All the knobs are easy to work with and easy to reach. And if we click here on the logo, we have access to different GUI size. So I'm going to bring that to the smallest, which is the regular or normal size plugin GUI that we have. So I'm going to keep it at large just for the sake of this tutorial. Now we have time and size. Time is going to be the time of the reverb and the size will be the size of the space. Now note that the time of the reverb is going to be according to the size of the space. Okay, so at this moment, if I look on my display on the top right of the plugin, we have the time displayed, the time of the reverb that is displayed at the moment according to those settings. So if I bring my size up to 10, and I bring my time to almost the maximum, I'm going to get like a reverb time of 51 seconds, which is quite a lot. If I bring that down to, you know what, I'm just going to keep it up and I'm just going to bring down the size of the space. And that will bring my time at 7.22. So this is what I mean when I'm saying that the time goes according to the size. So basically what you can get a very tight space or a very lushy type of space as well. If you want to have something very large and filling, you can do so with this type of reverb. Now I inserted that reverb on an effects channel track and I'm feeding 2 snare sounds directly on that track. Okay, so now I'm getting a very tight space. So if I bring the time higher, okay, I have more reverb time, but still with the same small space, okay, small size. Now let's bring the size up. You can do some crazy stuff with this plugin. So very versatile. Now, if we look at the character, okay, I'm just going to bring that to these settings, which was close to my sweet spot for this snare sound. I'm going to bring my pre-delay off for now, and I'm going to look at the character knob that we have here. So now, the character will control the build-up of the reverb sound. Okay, so if I keep it at 1, it's going to be a rapid build-up. Now let's select 2, which is going to be a slower build-up. And 3 is going to sound a bit more gradual. Okay, let's do that again. Okay, so now you get the difference between 1 and 2, which are the 2 extremes. Now, ensemble will modulate the pitch of the incoming signal. So let's try that out. I'm going to, again, be a bit extreme with this setting, just so we can hear the difference. Okay, let's bring the reverb louder. Okay, so you hear the difference. This is what Ensemble will do. Maybe not suitable for everything, but very cool to work with if you want to experiment with some different type of character out of that reverb. So Ensemble will, again, modulate the pitch of the incoming signal. Now the pre-delay will delay the reverb by X amount of milliseconds. And again, these values are displayed on the top right. And you can go up to 800 milliseconds. And we can also sync the pre-delay to the tempo of your project. Now the brightness will adjust the frequency where the low-pass filter is applied. Now let's have a quick listen by using the reverb on some vocals. So it's not adding some high frequencies to the reverb, but it just adjusts the frequency point where the low-pass filter is applied. Now the high decay is a very good way to smooth out the end tail high frequencies of the reverb. If I bring my high decay lower, that will allow a quicker decay of high frequencies. And if I bring it higher, that will allow a slow decay of high frequencies, okay, which is a good way to have control over the high frequencies of the tail of the reverb. Now, if we look at diffusion, that will adjust the density of the reverb effect. So the higher the level, the smoother the reverb. Tilt will basically just tilt the reverb frequencies around a central point. So if I bring my tilt down, it will bring up the low frequencies and tame down the high frequencies, again, according to that central frequency point. And if I do the opposite, it's just going to give me a bit more high frequencies and tame down the low frequencies. And the low tilt will control the reverb's low frequency response. So a positive value will attenuate the low frequencies. And a negative value will extend the duration of the decay of the reverb's low frequencies. So again, very flexible if you just want to tone shape that reverb. Then we have width, which is going to adjust the stereo image of the reverb. Now, it's not going to add some stereo image to that reverb. It's already set up to its max. But if you want to have a more narrow image of that reverb, or a mono reverb, actually, you can do so with the width setting. Now, blend is the wet and dry balance. Okay, now my reverb at this moment is on an effects channel track, so my wet is at the maximum, and I'm balancing the dry sound with the wet sound of the reverb with my effects channel track. Now, I'm just going to open a reverb that I inserted on a piano. Now on this piano, as an insert, I have a stereo delay that goes into this Sonsig REV reverb, again as an insert right after the delay. And now using the blend is very useful to blend the dry signal with the wet signal. Now another very cool thing with this reverb are the render modes found right here at the bottom right of the plugin. We have the Rev A, which is going to give us a very modern type of character. And if we go down to QRS, that will give us a more vintage type character of that reverb, which will sound lo-fi. Let's go back to Rev A. So let's just listen to the reverb, full wet, without any dry signal. So the 224 is going to add a mild high-frequency cutoff opposed to the Rev A. But the QRS, again, more lo-fi type of character. So this is what we get here. Now, we have access to a bunch of presets. But again, I don't use them a lot since the reverb is very easy to manage. But, you know, you have access to a bunch of those. Now, the cool thing is if there's one parameter on the reverb that you just want to lock off, you can do so by clicking on the name of that parameter. So let's say I want to keep the brightness at 7, but I want to work on another preset. I can do so. So let's do it for brightness and pre-delay and load. Let's go with Surreal and Springfield. There you go. So everything changes except those settings. Now, one last very cool feature that we have here on the Rev A reverb is the freeze button right here. Okay, so let's solo the vocals and have a quick listen on what that sounds like. So that freezes the tail of the reverb until you just click on the freeze button again. So that, you know, it's not something that I use all the time, that's for sure, but it is very cool if you want to create some special effects and so on. And this is something I actually did on this small piece of music here, where I recorded that effect and reversed it. Okay, and I blended that with a riser. And this is what I get if I listen to that in the context of the music. Now on this piece of music, I have the Rev A inserted on the snare, the vocals, and the piano. So let's have a quick listen. And as we go, I am going to bypass the reverb. So, you know, it's a very cool reverb. I really like it. I love the fact that it's easy to use, easy to get around. And, you know, it's the type of reverb that I don't need to rely on using presets a lot. I can craft my own reverb sound just by working around all those very simple settings to use. So this is it for today. This is the Sonsig REV A reverb from RELAB. If you want to know more about this reverb, you can check all the details down below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to share the video and to like. And again, if you're new here on the channel, subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss anything. All right, my friends, take care, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye.